Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Stories Cube, the place where you can learn English through real stories and deep life lesson. Sometimes questions come in our mind. What is real success? And today's story is the best example of this question. So let's find out the answer. Robert was 55 years old. He had spent his entire life chasing success. He had worked long hours at his job. He had traveled constantly for business. He had missed family dinners, his children's school events, and holidays. He told himself, "I am doing this for my family. I am working hard so they can have a good life." Robert had become very successful. He was the CEO of a large company. He made a lot of money. He had a big house, expensive cars, and all the material things he had ever wanted. By society's standards, Robert had made it. But there was a problem. Robert's relationship with his family had fallen apart. His wife felt like she barely knew him anymore. She said he was always at work, always on his phone, always thinking about business. His two children, now teenagers, barely talked to him. They had grown up without him really being there. Robert told himself it did not matter. He told himself, "I'm providing for them. That's what's important. They have everything they need because of my hard work." But deep inside, Robert felt empty. He felt lonely. He felt like something important was missing from his life, but he could not quite figure out what it was. One day, Robert's company announced they were opening a new office in another city. The board of directors asked Robert to move to that city and run the new office. It would mean even more money, even more prestige, even more success. Robert said yes immediately. He went home and told his wife, "I have great news. The company wants me to move and run the new office. This is a huge opportunity." His wife looked at him with sad eyes. She said quietly, "Robert, we're not coming with you." Robert was shocked. "What do you mean you're not coming?" His wife said, "I mean our children and I are staying here. We're not moving again. We're not uprooting our lives again for your career. The children are in high school. They have friends here. I have a life here. We're not following you anymore." Robert was angry. He said, "But this is for our family. This new position will mean more money. I'm doing this for you." His wife shook her head sadly. "Robert, we don't need more money. We need you. We need a husband and a father who is actually present. But you've been chasing success for so long that you've forgotten what really matters. You've forgotten us." Robert did not listen. He thought his wife was being unreasonable. He moved to the new city by himself. He threw himself even more deeply into his work. He told himself, "Once I make this office successful, my family will understand. They'll see that I did the right thing." 2 years passed. Robert worked 16-hour days. He made the new office very successful. The company was thriving. Robert received awards and recognition. By all external measures, he was at the peak of his career. But Robert's marriage collapsed. His wife filed for divorce. His children barely spoke to him. They were angry that he had chosen work over them. Robert tried to call them, but they rarely answered. When they did talk, the conversations were cold and brief. One evening, Robert sat alone in his expensive apartment in the new city. He looked around at all his material possessions. He looked at his awards and certificates on the wall. He looked at his expensive furniture and his big television. He realized he was completely alone. For the first time in years, Robert cried. He realized what he had done. He had spent his entire life chasing success, money, and career advancement. But in the process, he had lost the people he loved. He had sacrificed his family for his job. And now he had everything he thought he wanted. But he had nothing that truly mattered. Robert called his ex-wife. She answered, which surprised him. He said, "I made a terrible mistake. I chose my career over my family. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought providing money was enough. But I was wrong. I'm so sorry." His ex-wife was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Robert, I tried to tell you for years. I tried to make you understand that we needed you, not your money. But you never listened. You never had time. Now it's too late. The divorce is final. The children have moved on. You missed their childhood. You can't get that back." Robert felt like his heart was breaking. He said, "Is there any way I can fix this? Any way I can make things right?" His ex-wife said, "I don't know, Robert. You can try to rebuild a relationship with your children, but they're almost adults now. They've learned to live without you. It will take a lot of time and effort, and you'll have to actually show up this time. You'll have to actually be present. Words aren't enough anymore." That night, Robert made a decision. He resigned from his CEO position. His colleagues were shocked. They said, "Robert, you're at the top of your career. Why would you quit now?" Robert said, "Because I realized I've been climbing the wrong ladder. I've been chasing the wrong things. I need to go home." Robert moved back to his old city. He bought a small apartment near where his ex-wife and children lived. He took a much simpler job that paid much less, but required much less time and travel. He started trying to reconnect with his children. It was not easy. His daughter was 18 and about to go to college. She was angry with Robert. She said, "You weren't there when I needed you. You missed my childhood. Now you suddenly want to be a father? Where were you all those years?" Robert said honestly, "I was chasing things that don't matter. I was foolish. I was wrong. I can't get those years back. I can't undo my mistakes. But I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. I want to be part of your life, if you'll let me." His daughter was skeptical, but she agreed to give him a chance. Slowly, very slowly, Robert began to rebuild his relationship with his children. He showed up to his daughter's college orientation. He went to his son's soccer games. He invited them to dinner regularly. Sometimes they came, sometimes they didn't. But Robert never gave up. He kept showing up. 2 years passed. Robert's relationship with his children improved, but it was not the close relationship he wished they had. They were polite to him, but there was still distance. They still carried hurt from all the years he had been absent. One day, Robert received terrible news. His ex-wife had been diagnosed with a serious illness. She needed treatment, and she needed help. Robert immediately offered to help. He took time off work to drive her to treatments. He helped with whatever she needed. He did not do this to try to win her back. He did this because it was the right thing to do. His children saw this. They saw their father showing up. They saw him putting someone else's needs before his own. They saw him being present in a way he had never been before. Slowly, their hearts began to soften. One evening, Robert's son said to him, "Dad, I've been angry at you for a long time. I felt like you loved your job more than you loved us. I felt like we were not important to you." Robert said, "You were important to me, but I expressed my love in the wrong way. I thought providing money and material things was enough. I didn't realize that what you needed was my time and my presence. I was wrong. I'm sorry." His son said, "I can see you're trying now. I can see you've changed. It's hard for me to forget all the years you weren't there, but I'm willing to try to build a relationship with you now." Robert started crying. He hugged his son. He said, "Thank you for giving me another chance. I know I don't deserve it." Years passed. Robert's ex-wife recovered from her illness. Robert never became wealthy again. He never regained his high-powered career, but he rebuilt his relationship with his children. He became the father he should have been all along. He was present at family gatherings. He was there for important moments. He was actually part of their lives. When Robert was 70 years old, He sat with his children and grandchildren at a family dinner. He looked around the table at all the people he loved. His daughter said, "Dad, are you okay? You look like you're about to cry." Robert smiled. He said, "I'm just thinking about how close I came to missing all of this. I spent so many years chasing the wrong things. I almost lost all of you. I caught the last train home just in time." His son said, "What do you mean, the last train home?" Robert said, "It's a metaphor. In life, we chase many things: money, success, prestige, career advancement. We tell ourselves these things are important. We tell ourselves we're doing it for our families. But while we're chasing these things, life is passing us by. The people we love are growing up, growing old, moving on. And if we're not careful, we miss it all." Robert continued, "The last train home is your last chance to get back to what really matters. It's your last chance to reconnect with the people you love before it's too late." Some people never catch that last train. They realize too late what they've lost. But I was lucky. I caught it just in time. Robert's daughter said, "You did miss a lot, Dad. You missed our childhood. That hurt us. But you came back. You showed up. You rebuilt our relationship. That takes courage. A lot of people who make your mistake never try to fix it. They just accept that they've lost their family and move on. But you didn't. You fought to get us back." Robert said, "I only wish I had realized sooner what was important. I wish I hadn't wasted so many years. But I learned an important lesson, and I want to share it with all of you." Robert looked at his children and grandchildren. He said, "Success is not measured by how much money you make or how high you climb in your career. Success is measured by the quality of your relationships. Success is being there for the people you love. Success is not missing the important moments. Success is choosing presence over prestige." He continued, "At the end of your life, you won't care about the awards you won or the money you made. You'll care about the relationships you had. You'll care about the love you gave and received. You'll care about the memories you made with the people you love. Don't wait until it's almost too late, like I did. Catch the train home now, while there's still time." The lesson: do not sacrifice the most important things for the least important things. Success means nothing if you lose the people you love along the way. Your family needs your presence more than they need your money. Career and material success are empty if you have no one to share them with. Do not wait until it is almost too late to realize what truly matters. The people you love are more important than any job, any amount of money, or any career achievement. Catch the last train home before it is too late. So, my friends, if you felt something while listening to this story, share this story with someone who needs it. Maybe a friend, or maybe yourself. And don't forget to subscribe to English Stories Cube, where every story helps you learn English and discover who you really are. See you in the next video. And remember, do not sacrifice what matters most for what matters least.